you have a question.
A question. Perfect. I have this used popsicle stick, lollipop stick. Let's get out. What is this? First off, what is this? What do you call it?
Jug.
A message in
A jug.
the jug. Message in the jug. Let's use this to help get, or Declan will use the finger. Yes. We're talking about reducing, reusing, and recycling today, along with worm poop, naturally. What does the message say?
Why is...
What are the letters? What are the letters? P?
U-L-U...
T?
T-I-N-G.
Polluting. Why is... Okay, what does it say?
Polluting bad.
And that says, question mark, what is it, who is it from? The dash means who is it from? Okay.
Owen?
Oh, well, it doesn't say. Stop? When stop.
Windy?
So.
Wind!
Wind.
No, I'm the middleman, and that says Winston.
Winston. I see it now. The W, the I, the N, and the continuation, and the S, the T, the O, and the N. All right, Winston, why is polluting bad? Action.
Now, I made up this song. It helps see what happens to the trash. This one is for the ocean. First, you throw fish in the trash can, but what happens next? It goes into the garbage truck. It gets dumped in the dump. But then sometimes there's not enough space, so they dump it into the ocean.
Siobhan, you want to go in?
And in the ocean,
No.
it spreads, and then a fish sees the plastic.
Because, well,
Fish eats it.
I'm gonna come back tomorrow.
Then a shark goes nom nom nom. But then it doesn't know that the plastic's in it. Tum tum tum. That is the story of plastic. That is the story of plastic.
Dum dum dum.
That is the story of plastic.
Rum rum rum.
That is the story of plastic. Thank you very much.
Wait. Come on.
I have a thing for you. One poop. You know, like here they go. They eat.
This is
that
great.
dog,
Keep recording.
Then went like, and they eat it. It goes through and they poop it out, but it's still dirt, but clean up dirt.
You're telling me that worm poop is clean?
Dirt.
Clean dirt?
Like the dirty dirt eats that pops out clean dirt out of the bum.
Now, is it true that if you cut a worm in half, it will grow back?
Well, it has a little time.
Only some
Time, like some minutes, like
some minutes of the day.
Yeah, I know something.
I
about
think we're
something
we're
cool.
playing now. We're playing, but
Kinda
keep
like-
going. Kind of like.
There's also a big worm, like a fat one kind, and when it splits in half, it splits into two worms, and it keeps on going to the big way.
So, this is a dead worm. It's just completely void of life. And I don't know about you, but to me that seems a little paradoxical. Like, I kind of thought worms, could be cut in half and still live, just like you'd feel them moving in the slightest bit. This is just so floppy, and I think it's suffocated. I think it spent too much time out of the dry, wet soil. And anywho, every single thing in nature has a purpose. So that worm right there will decompose into the soil.
Hi everybody, good morning. So worms, as Declan has exceptionally explained, are fascinating. And they do this thing where they are eating soil, which is filtered through worm poop. So we can learn a lot about recycling and reusing by observing our soil cycling friends, such as worms, such as ants, those creatures that call the soil home, those creatures that you have to pick up the leaves. You have to dig a little in the dirt. You gotta look under the rock to find these creatures that live in the soil and call the soil home. And not only is the soil home, but the soil is food. So home and food are the same things for these creatures. So they take really good care of it because they know they have to survive on it. So they're brilliant. They clean their home and their food while they eat, and what passes through them and exits out the back end is filtered through and is recycled back into the soil, directly back. Now, if we think of our human eating habits, we think that our food comes from far away, oftentimes coming into a grocery store, packaged up, and we go yum 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 yum. Sometimes we leave some, and that's wasteful. That's why composting is important, not to have food scraps into the landfills, but we throw that away. And as Owen's song explained, that's the story of where our trash goes. But where does our food go now? Let's think about this. It passes through, and majority of the people in this country go number 2 on a toilet, right? And so the toilet goes flush and down it goes, and that's a story for another song. But I just wanted to bring up how, again, we can learn from worms. Again, there are toilets that I have used that are called composting toilets. And what they do is they don't have a big flush where the number 2 goes on this long journey. They're more like a worm. The number 2 basically goes to right where the action happened. It doesn't travel very far. It goes right to the soil there. Because just like worm poo, human poo has some beneficiary. I'm not going to use that word. I'm just going to say human poo would be great if it just went right into the soil. And what would make it even greater is if we were eating food that was right from that soil. So what a connection Owen and Declan are making between polluting, learning about polluting and why it is bad, and worms, and how they recycle the nutrients in their soil, poo, home. And that's our nature fun for today.